Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. With that, I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for anybody that is new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It has everything that you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here at the channel. With that, today we are asking, what are they telling their family and friends about you? Another highly requested reading, so I'm bringing it back. It has been a long minute since I have done this one, so we're going to see what comes through. With this being my 2-year anniversary, this month, February 1st, was my 2-year anniversary as Scatter Love Tarot, and I'm truly so excited to be on this journey with all of you. It's just, I'm shocked. I can't believe we've made it 2 years. Like, I'm just like, wow, we're here already. So we're going to find out what comes through today. Let us go ahead and get started with your prayer, and then we will go ahead and shuffle and get this reading underway for you. It's quite cloudy today, so a little bit gloomy. It's also the full moon in Leo today at the time of recording this. So let's see. Okay, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading, whether it's for the entire time or for a moment's time. Sometimes it's hard for us to gauge where we are in the relationships in our lives because we don't know entirely what another person is thinking. Sometimes we have no idea what it is that they're even feeling. And so we sometimes turn to these readings to kind of get a clear picture of that. And I ask today that you bring through that clarity that's going to help us remind us to come back to ourselves. That ultimately it's not for us to be mind readers. It's not for us to really even know where other people are coming from. It will always be up to us to trust our intuition and to use our discernment so that we can find situations that are for us along this journey. But many of us have been hurt, and many of us have suffered great losses and betrayals in this world. And it's hard for us to trust our intuition, and it's hard for us to trust our discernment when it comes to another person. And so I ask that you bring clear signs and messages that will help us know what is the path forward for each of us. It will be different and it will be unique. But as long as it aligns with us and our highest good, that's the one thing that matters. And I ask that you're always bringing signs to my fellow tribesmen here, reminding them that they are being held and supported along this journey. May you please bring to them the signs and synchronicities that confirm the intuitive thoughts that they're getting. May you bring to them the clear messages and downloads so that they can take decisive action along their path. I pray that you watch over them all and help them to find a way to bring grace upon themselves. As these words are spoken into this space and among this tribe, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Aseh. Thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. All right, let me get that out of the way. Maybe. See if it'll hang. Okay, there we go. I'll get some of the ash out of here. To use up these incense. I like them. It's not like I don't like them. I just don't like the way that they burn. Not like the other ones, but I need to get rid of these ones. So, all right. Give these a quick shuffle. Okay. What do they tell their family and friends about my fellow tribe? What do they tell their family and friends about my collective source? Okay, thank you. What do they tell their family and friends about my collective? So for pile number 1, source, what talisman oracle card will help us better understand what are they telling their family and friends about pile number 1? Okay, this one here. Thank you. For pile number 2, source, what talisman oracle card will help us better understand what they are telling their family and friends about pile number 2? What are they telling their family and friends about pile number 2, source? Okay, thank you. And for pile number 3, source, what talisman oracle card will help us better understand what they are telling their family and friends about pile number 3? What are they telling their family and friends about pile number 3? Thank you, source. Collective message. On the bottom, we've got divine guidance. So, excuse me, I have the hiccups. I do feel like across the board, there are a lot of people who are telling their family and friends, like, they feel like you're definitely a part of their journey, that they were divinely guided to meet you. Like, even if things ended badly, or even if things aren't exactly what you want them to be or what they want them to be, like, they do feel like you were both drawn to each other for a greater purpose. It's actually really beautiful. I love that. All right, let me get this set up here. Make sure that we are in. Okay. For pile number 1, we've got this beautiful piece of amethyst. Okay. Pile number 2, we do have this beautiful piece of shell. It's a clam shell that I found in Myrtle Beach. Okay. And for pile number 3, we have this beautiful piece of rose quartz. This was left for me by the fairies outside of my front door one day. Okay, so pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, whichever one you feel called to, that should be the pile for you. With that, I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of amethyst, or if you were drawn to this card during this shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what are they telling their family and friends about you. I do want to say first, thank you so much for those of you that continue to be a part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time in this space with you. And for anybody that is new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. With that being said, let us go ahead and hop to it and find out, what are they telling their family and friends about pile number 1, source? What can you share with us? What are they telling their family and friends about pile number 1? Okay, so we've got the 9th house, we've got Libra energy, and we've got the moon. Awesome. So there's a couple of energies coming in here. I do feel like many of you are spiritual, but if you're not very spiritual, and that's okay, right? I do feel like they're noticing that you are learning a lot, right? Like you are trying to up your education. Maybe you study history. You could be studying law. You could be trying to also open up your own legal practice, I just heard. So what I feel like they're telling their family and friends here, this energy is saying like you're very grounded in your knowledge about whatever it is that you're studying, whether that's spirituality, whether that's you're in school studying a certain subject, or whether that is you're working for a company that you always have to up your game and learn new things at your company, that this is something that keeps you incredibly balanced. And this is something that keeps you also very clear about how to treat people in difficult circumstances. So you might deal with a lot of conflict in your life and or at your job, and this has helped you to become emotionally balanced as well as mentally balanced, because you've had to deal with a lot of your own internal personal things and put that aside. So like there's energy here that's like they see how maybe at times, or maybe if they've known you for a long time, like maybe before, you might have taken everything that someone else said personally, and that maybe dictated how you were going to show up or how you were going to try to resolve conflict. And you've had to come to terms with that part of yourself. And actually, it's almost like shutting a door right there, right? Like my personal viewpoints on a situation has nothing to do with the outside world. And so now when you come to deal with resolution in the outside world, you're actually able to detach from your own emotional ego and say like, you know, how you feel isn't actually valid in this situation, even though I feel that way, and that's totally valid, but it's not going to be the driving part of how you approach something or how you're approaching a situation overall. They do tell their family and friends that you're very charming, very smart, very witty as well, is an energy that I'm getting here. There's also something about the top of your head. Maybe you have like wear a high ponytail all the time, or like a headband. Like I was just getting this weird itching sensation on the top of my head all of a sudden, and it's like, yeah, it feels like maybe you wear a ball cap all the time. So like you have a favorite like headgear that you wear all the time, whatever that is. Maybe it's a cowboy hat or like a beanie, or you know, something along those lines. Like you always wear that, and so they're telling their family and friends like, you know, you always have this one style you go to. I do feel like there's a fear here that they tell their family and friends, like they feel like it might be codependent because of their own issues and not sure how that clashes or fits in with yours, and not knowing how to heal that. And so there's a fear that, you know, maybe this is going to be a codependent situation, or maybe that's something that you both have worked on. Like if this is somebody that you're with, like they talk about how you've already worked on that, you've already healed that part of yourself, and they're really glad that you've moved past those, you know, childhood wounds that have been keeping you small, and you're learning how to integrate that as well. Let's get some tarot on it and see what comes through. So I've got my Instapot going. If you hear any weird hissing noises or anything, that's my Instapot in the background. So just pointing that out so you're like, what is going on? So it's building up steam right now. I'm cooking chili because it's cold today. All right. So, Source, what do they tell their family and friends about pile number 1? What do they tell their family and friends about pile number 1? How, like, that you're very committed to your network. And sometimes they feel left out because of that. Like, you have a responsibility to your network. Something about some change coming as well. There's some sort of change that's going to be happening soon. So maybe for those of you that aren't with this person, they're going to come forward and say something. Source, what do they tell their family and friends about pile number 1? What would you like to share with us? Okay, thank you. All right. So, Source, what do they tell their family and friends about pile number 1? What do they tell their family and friends about pile number 1? Okay, so I guess you're going to get 4 cards here. I don't usually do 4-card spreads, but we're going to put it like that on the bottom. Yeah, we've got the Queen of Cups on the bottom and the upright. They definitely feel like you're very compassionate and loving and kind, but you also don't show a lot of people this side of you. Like, you're always compassionate when you show up with anybody, like stranger or whatever. Like, you're always compassionate, but there's also a deeper side of yourself that you don't show to anybody. And I also feel like you're always being led by your intuition, and that's something that they feel as well. And I do feel like that's intimidating for them, and they've mentioned that to their family and friends. Like, it's really intimidating that pile number one is so intuitive, because it feels like they see to the core of my being, and there's nothing that I could hide from them. Not that they would want to hide anything, but, you know, like, knowing that you can't and not wanting to, I feel like that feeling of knowing that you can't is just, it's intimidating, because it's like, you know, I don't want to, but, like, I would like to be the one that actually comes forward and says something, that they feel like you're already going to know what's happening before they come forward and say something. So, yeah, they definitely do feel like you've been really manipulated in the past by a lot of people, and they don't feel like it's fair. Like, no one sees the true you, or maybe people do see the true you, but they don't appreciate you the way that they do. And I feel like that kind of hurts them too. It's like, they know that it hurts you for sure, but it hurts them too, because it's like they wish that, you know, people understood the beauty of who you were, or the magnificence of your soul. Yeah, okay. So we've got the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Wow. Definitely very attracted to you. We've got the Nine of Wands in the reverse. We've got the Star in the reverse. And then we've got the Ten of Coins. Interesting. What do they tell their family and friends about you? You've had to start over a lot. From incredibly hopeless situations. From things that didn't pan out, and you gave the best of who you were to these people, or to the situation in and of itself. But somehow, some way along this journey, you've really made a name for yourself, right? Like, especially at the Ten of Coins here, it's like showing how grounded and stable you are, and how much you've learned through those difficult situations, and how you're not afraid of hardship, because you know that you can overcome it. And you still have stayed in this energy of the Queen of Cups. Like, it just leaves them baffled at times, because it's like, whoa, how have you gone through such terrible things in your life, and you're still this loving person? How have you gone through these awful things, and it still hasn't changed the core of your being? And so this is what they tell their family and friends, and they do feel like you've built a lot of stability in your life, but it saddens them to know that it's come from, you know, difficult romantic situations, having to start over, having just completely hopeless or feeling lost in certain situations in your life. Like, it's not come because of happy-go-lucky situations or circumstances. It's literally come out of the darkness. You found the light. And I think that's scary too, because it's like, maybe they've gone through some hard things too, and they don't feel like they have a right to bring up their hardships to you or to anybody, really, because it's like they've watched you claw your way up from the bottom, and they've watched you claw your way up through heartbreak, and through people who haven't respected you, and people who've disrespected you, and treated you like you were garbage. And it's like, even if they have a lot of stories themselves, like, they don't feel like their own stories compared to yours. And honestly, I feel like you're that person that's like, you don't look at it that way. Like, we all have our stories, we all have our backstories and our experiences, and that's what makes us who we are. But for them, it's like, they're just like, what room do I have to ever share my stories when I've seen pile number one go through all of this? And so that's what they tell their family and friends. And I feel like they have family and friends telling them, like, well, you matter too. And they're like, yeah, but pile one just inspires me all the time. And it's like, I don't have any room to complain. I keep hearing, harder than what? It's like, they always think about that when something comes up, and like, maybe a family member's like, oh, that's going to be hard. Like, you can't do that. They turn around and they say, harder than what? Harder than what pile one has already gone through? I don't think so. Like, that's how they look at life. It's actually really, it's cute. It's cute. Just 1 second. Yeah, so I feel like maybe they feel like they've broken your heart at some point too. There's this energy where it's like, I was also someone that did them dirty or, you know, did them wrong. They feel like that. They could be someone that did. They might not be. But they do feel like they didn't show up for you when they had the chance. And I feel like they beat themselves up a lot for that. And I feel like their whole family and friends know that they beat themselves up for that. And maybe their family and friends kind of like egg that on a little bit too. Like, well, you should have been there for pile number 1 when they needed you. Like, why weren't you? We all told you to go be there for pile number 1, but you weren't. Will you please clarify the Knight of Wands energy here, Source? What do they tell their family and friends? Yeah, the 5 of Wands. Just something that they've had to regain their balance on. I feel like the thing is they've seen you do these amazing acrobatic tricks with nothing to keep you if you fell. Like, it was like basically if you fell from the sky, you were going to land flat on the ground. There was no net to save you. And it's like, well, that was a hard lesson to learn. And so it's like, even if they were one that hurt you, like, you still found your footing again. And that leaves them speechless in a way, because it's like, wow, like, pile 1 still even overcame me not being there for them too. Let's see what else comes out here. Yeah. That energy, you've been completely guided by your intuition this whole time. Getting repeat messages already, but let's see what else comes out for the Star and the 10 of Coins. What else would you like to say, Source? What do they tell their family and friends about pile number 3? Look, and 2 cards came out. We've got the Empress and the 9 of Cups. Yeah. Yeah, you're someone not to be trifled with, that's for sure. And like, you've built a life of luxury for yourself emotionally. And that you deserve to experience that. Whether people understand it or they don't, like, you deserve to experience the whole of that. And so they definitely tell their family and friends, like, you've built something from nothing. And if there was anybody that they look up to, it's you. On the bottom, the burden. Yeah, that you've carried too much. And you're in a place now where you get to put that down, and you should enjoy it. Like, they don't blame you for not inviting them into your life, if that's the case. Or they don't blame you for keeping them at arm's length. You know, like, wherever they're at, it's like, whether or not they have remorse about it, I do feel like they feel guilty about it, but if they didn't do you wrong, or if they just didn't show up when they could have, like, they feel that. Like, they feel like they should have done something different. But they're also in this energy, like, I can't go back and change the past. I feel like this person is someone, like, every time that you post something on social media, or every time they hear you talking about something, or if someone around you is talking about something, like, they tell their family and friends everything about you. I feel like their family and friends are like, please stop. Please, just please, we've heard enough of pile number 1. Like, we're glad they're doing great, but honestly, like, we don't need to know some of these things. For others, there's an energy here where it's like, they can't believe that you've been so manipulated. Right? So for some, this was someone who did, or maybe did or did not manipulate you, or someone who did or did not show up when you needed them to. But I also feel like there's this other energy in here where it's like, they can't believe that someone like you would ever be hurt by another person. Like, how could people not see how amazing you are? Right? That you were never there to carry everyone else, even though you did. You were always so full of possibilities and hope, and you still are, but you're also learning. Like, look, even we got the 2 of Swords with schizophrenia under here. Like, you've also learned how to to scale it back to a huge degree, I feel. And that's what they tell their family and friends, like, you don't give very much anymore. And I feel like you make them go crazy sometimes. Like, they can't get you off their mind. They're always thinking about you. There's always something going on where they're like, hey, what's going on with pile number 1? Okay, yeah, Sagittarius energy coming out. We've got optimism, exploration, and freedom. Yeah, they definitely tell their family and friends, like, you're too free. Maybe you're too free of a spirit for them, or, like, you're too free for them to burden themselves on you. I feel like this is, like, the one where it's, like, their family was encouraging them to go towards you the whole time. Like, hey, you should check them out, you know? Yeah, house 5. Yeah, passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. Like, also the house of dating, right? Like, so I feel like their family and friends were trying to encourage this person to come forward to date you. And for some of you, they may have, and for others of you, they might not, right? Like, they might not have come forward, and they're kind of kicking themselves in the butt about it. And for those that have, like, they're just so amazed by you because you just keep growing more and more every day, and you become more and more amazing. And they love how creative you are and how open you are. Yeah. Water, Pisces. Wow, Pisces. I don't know what a Pisces is. We have Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio with spirituality, emotion, intuition, and compassion. So again, that confirmation, like, you're incredibly intuitive, very compassionate, very spiritual. You're always growing, learning new things about yourself, coming back to that energy before that we were getting with the dice, like, where it's like you had to overcome your own wounds so that you could show up in life from a fair place. Purify yourself, yeah. The rain energy here. They tell their family and friends, like, you've done so much to purify your soul. Like, you're different from anyone because you're actually doing the work. But I feel like you were brought to a place where you had to do the work. Like, there was no more holding on to those old beliefs and those old patterns because they were just destroying you. So it's like, do I continue to be destroyed or do I change what I'm doing? Right? Yeah, intuition. Like, that's the thing. They tell their family and friends just how intuitive you are. And so I feel like if this is someone who's not in your life right now, there might be things that you post online that it's like, wow, how did they know I was thinking that? Like, how did they know that that was going to resonate with me? Or this is someone who you're with all the time, and it's like you might be able to pinpoint their emotions and say, like, well, you seem really sad today. Is there anything that I can help you with? And they're like, how did you know I was sad? Like, where you're like, wow, you seem really frustrated about so-and-so at work. You know, I'm always here for you to talk, or we can talk about it or whatever. And they're like, how did you know I was upset at so-and-so? And like, they're just always telling their family and friends how intuitive you are. I think it's really cool and scary for them at the same time. It's like, how does pile number 1 know these things? Yeah, look. Oh, I love this. Overcome any obstacles with a rhino spirit. This is what they feel like. They feel like no matter what happens in life, like, you're always going to overcome it. Like, no matter how difficult things get, like, you're going to find a way to gracefully climb the obstacle or gracefully jump the hurdle. Like, you're going to do it with 10 stars. It's always going to be an amazing situation for you. Even if it's difficult, you're going to come out on the other end stronger and better than you were before. And that's why they feel like you're their, it's like you're their muse, you're their inspiration. You motivate them. Yeah, think on your feet. I feel like you're very clever. I was getting that at the beginning, very witty and very wise. And so they tell their family and friends that you're very witty and very wise. Wise beyond your years. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It's like, you know, like, you are not in the same bracket as so many people that are your age. Look at this. Child divine. We have the light is the innocence, purity, and redemption, suggests a special connection with the divine. The shadow attribute is an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. And I don't know if you watched the shuffle or not, and that's fine if you didn't, but on the bottom, the collective message, we got the divine guidance card. And so I love how so much of the time, like, this definitely piggybacks for pile number 1. It's not always, but a lot of times it does. And so this is definitely one of those times when the collective message is piggybacking to pile number 1 here. So let's see what we got on the bottom here. Messiah, serving humanity with humility. Shadow is exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. Right, okay, so you're definitely helping people, like, helping them out a lot. Let's get some of these love or money cards. I don't have an artist for these. That's just what it says on the box is love and money. It comes in an orange and yellow box, and so... Alright, what else, source? What do they tell their family and friends? Independent, yeah, that's not surprising that that's coming out. Let's get one more. New beginning. You're doing a fresh start. Whoa, okay, these went flying over here. I'll take them like that. Routine on the bottom. We've got, in my dreams, I touch you, see you, and hear you. Our connection transcends the physical world and unites us in the dreamscapes. So they may not be a part of your life, but they do feel like you guys dream about each other a lot. Like, you know, they see you in their dreams and they feel like you might see them in your dreams as well. So if they're not in contact with you, that's definitely something they tell their family and friends. Like, I know we're dreaming about each other. So we've got new beginning, pressing life's reset button, setting new intentions, gaining fresh perspectives and seeing the world anew, embracing new beginnings and letting go of the past. And independence. We've got realizing the need for change and striving for karmic justice. That's that fairness coming through. The path of solitude reveals the unseen in the company of others. Yeah, you're definitely in this place of seeing through people. And it's like, no matter where a person comes from, like, you see through them. And that's something they tell their family and friends too. And that might be what they're telling their family and friends. Like, I can't date them or I can't go towards them right now because they're going to see through me. Like, if I'm not showing up authentic or, you know, from a healed place, like, they're going to see through me. We have balance, number 6 coming out here with peace, communication, support, reflection, harmony, and stability. If you're struggling with family or those you live with, this number serves as a reminder to seek peace, communication, and support. Reflect on your life and consider what balance truly means to you. In what areas of my life do I need to cultivate more balance and harmony? Take a moment today to have an open and honest conversation with a family member or housemate to restore peace and balance in your home. I feel like this is just confirmation they talk about you a lot. And I feel like that's also the confirmation I was saying, like, their family and friends are like, please stop talking about pile number 1. Like, we've had it up to here, right? We have 37, comfort zone, stagnation, safety, expansion, growth, risk, and breakthroughs. Your comfort zone has become too familiar. It's time to step out and pursue what you truly desire, knowing that your angels are guiding and supporting you. Yeah, I feel like this is confirmation that their family and friends are like, if you like pile 1... then go and ask them out. And they've reached a comfortable place where it's like, it's just easier to talk to you guys about it. And they're like, we don't want to hear it anymore. And so there's definitely this energy where it's like, so what are you going to do? Right? Are you going to pursue pile number 1? I feel like they're afraid you're going to reject them. And some of you may, and some of you might not. But I feel like that's kind of where they're at. Or if you're with this person, this might have been the story, kind of like how they got to you, right? And so we've got secret crush on the bottom. Like, can we be more clear? Admirer, attraction, suitor, butterflies. Like, yeah, they really do like you a lot. Okay, so let's check out your cards. Strength. Yeah, they talk about how strong you are. Like, all the things that you've overcome and all the things that you've done, like, that's something they tell their family and friends a lot. It's like how strong you are. That's what I was saying. Like, you're their muse and you're their inspiration. kindness with fruit bat and flying fox. And we talked about that earlier too. Like you said, that confirmation here that you're someone who's incredibly compassionate and kind. Like no matter what life brings to you, still show up from this place of kindness and compassion. We have abandonment. I never believed in the concept of soulmates, but now after pushing you away, I can't help but regret my actions and wish I could take it all back. Yeah, so it does feel like maybe they have pushed you away here. And now they do regret it. We have exploitation with, I see how one of us held all the power, leaving the other feeling small and voiceless. We need the reset to reset this imbalance. And I feel like that's why they support you from behind the scenes right now, is because they were trying to control this. They were trying to make things happen the way that they wanted to. And maybe at a time you were trying to make things happen the way that you wanted to as well. But then you were forced into that healing of your own childhood wounds that we were talking about earlier. And so there's that confirmation. No exit. Trapped in a situation with no exit or escape. Experiences a perpetual return to the same situations. Trapped in an infinite loop with no escape. Engages in a Sisyphean task that never ends. And so that's the thing, like they're stuck. They're stuck in this, and I feel like that's something they tell their family and friends, like we're stuck, we're destined to be together, but I'm stuck, I can't move forward. And I feel like no matter how hard their family and friends try, like they can't get them to come forward to you. So we have finances, money problems, work, material things, and success. They could just be chasing after finances right now, thinking they're never going to be good enough. Liquid courage, bravery, confidence, intoxicated, odd behavior. They could be fighting alcoholism or some other addiction. And then surrender, letting go, release, give up, and patience. Yeah, so they're in this place right now where it's like they know they need to surrender, but they're just really struggling right now. And, you know, it's not to say that you haven't struggled. Again, this is what they're telling their family and friends. So it's like, this is kind of their energy right now. It's down in the dumps. Let's see what this card is for you. Equilibrium. Trying to regain their balance. Look at that. I love that. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Source. All right, let's read this from the book. Equilibrium. It's time to align your intentions with your actions. Exactly. They haven't come. I feel like for many of you, they haven't come forward. You're dancing between opposite forces and your mind is racing with ideas. The complexity of motion is important in the discovery of new methods. And when all the forces acting upon us balance each other, we are at equilibrium. Our perseverance and ability to let go coalesce in a state of harmony, learning to accept misfortunes, but having determination in the pursuit of our own dreams offers confidence. The water takes whatever shape it's poured into, so you can direct where the energy goes. It says energy flows where your focus goes. Yeah, so they're seeing you become successful. They're telling their family and friends about how successful you're becoming, but for them, they're feeling like they're left behind, or that they're not ever going to have a chance. They feel like there is a disharmony between you right now because you're finding harmony with yourself and your life. And I feel like their family and friends are like, just go talk to pile one. And they're the only ones that are standing in their way. Like, no matter how much somebody tells us something, like, if we're not ready to do it, we won't. And so they're in a place where they're just not ready to come forward. And I know that's not... It's rough. It's tough to go through that and to hear something like that. But at this point, you just kind of have to keep doing what you're doing because you're doing the right thing, pile number one, by taking care of yourself and focusing on yourself. So you're doing a good job, okay? So if you felt like this was your reading, leave the little water drop down below and say, I choose to focus my energy and my intention towards my goals and dreams, knowing that taking care of me is helping me to manifest everything I want. And if it resonates with you, it would mean so much to me if you're to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. You'll find everything you need down there. With that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us a very powerful message. And as always, I think you're doing an amazing job, pile number one. But until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful clamshell, Or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what do they tell their family and friends about you. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time in this space with you. And for anyone that is new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what are they telling their family and friends about pile number 2, Source. What would you like to share with us today? What are they telling their family and friends about pile number 2? What would you like to come through, Source? So we've got the 11th house, Jupiter energy in Capricorn. You're a hard worker, and that is why things come to you. Why you manifest abundance, why you manifest luck, why you have people in your court, why you have a strong community that surrounds you. You know, they're telling their family and friends they feel like you're an incredibly abundant person, like that you're very spiritual or you're growing spiritually all the time. They feel like that you're incredibly disciplined and that you aren't afraid of hard work. You're not afraid of getting your hands dirty. You're not afraid of doing what it takes to go to the next level. Some of you could have an online community. You don't have to, but you could have a community like maybe you do marketing or you are the company's head of social media, I just heard, or something like that. And so it's like, it feels like you have to take care of a community. Okay, so maybe you're like in real estate, or I just heard retail too, but I feel like it's deeper than that. Like it could be retail, but I feel like it's like you have a lot of regulars that show up. So maybe you're like a personal shopper, or maybe you are someone that, you know, delivers certain things to certain homes a lot. And so you built up a community with the people that you're in contact with every day, or a lot of the time, like frequently in contact with. And so they're telling their family and friends like you have a very strong community around you, and that you are trying to also realize your hopes and dreams, and you're putting forth a lot of hard work and effort, and that is why you are so wealthy and you have riches, or you're gaining riches, or you're building up stability for yourself as well. Okay. And I feel like you've had to deal with the father wound, and that's something that they've noticed too, is like you may have, you know, and not to say like daddy issues or anything like that. It's not that. It's like you have had to deal with a lot of disgruntled men in your life, and it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or whatever you identify with. Right? So I feel like what they've told their family and friends is like, you might have a hard time trusting men. And so they don't blame you for that, because they understand where you're coming from. So they might know a little bit of your story, or they also just feel that from you. They wish that they had trusted themselves when it came to you, but they listened to people who didn't have their best interest at heart. And so they self-sabotaged, and they went the opposite way because they listened to people who they didn't trust, but they still told about you for some reason. Yeah, they feel like you're a very fortunate person. They feel like they're fortunate to have met you. I feel like they tell someone who they trust now, like they wish they had trusted themselves instead of telling whoever it was about you. This could have been someone who was jealous of you, or someone who was jealous of them even for liking someone as powerful as you, or just for liking someone in general. This could have been someone who wanted that person to themselves, or maybe it was someone who wanted you to themselves. What do they tell their family and friends about pile number 2, Source? I feel like this person gets headaches. Yeah, I'm not surprised that the 10 of Swords came out here. But I feel like this person gets headaches thinking about you. Look at that, self-sabotage with the King of Wands coming out. Yeah. I feel like this person deals with migraines too. Like, just that's something they deal with a lot. And so, like, thinking about you oftentimes gives them a migraine because they blame themselves for stuff that happened between the two of you. And so they might not yet have tied that together, but I do feel like that's something that Source is pointing out here, because I have this really weird pressure all of a sudden in the very top part of my, like right above my left eye, and it's stemming from the temple to my third eye, and it feels like someone's cutting it, but also applying just a lot of pressure. It's really uncomfortable. Now it goes away. Yeah, like they do feel like you were a match, but they tell their family and friends, like, they biffed this one. They just didn't do what they should have done. They should have come forward and talked to you. And yeah, I feel like there was someone in their life that was incredibly manipulative of this person. This could have been a father that they went to. Isn't that interesting? I was talking about the father wound, and then we have the Emperor coming out. The Emperor can point towards a father figure in our lives, right? Someone who we look up to, someone who we trust, like that, someone who we expect to give us sound information. And so it feels like this person didn't realize that they were fighting with someone who just didn't have this person's best interest at heart. And so they were constantly like getting headaches or constantly feeling like they couldn't have what they wanted in life because they were always telling this person something. And this person was leading them down the wrong road. And so now they tell their family and friends, or the people who they trust the most, because they feel like this person has created a group of their own friends outside of their family. Like, I don't really feel like this person talks to family so much, because I feel like whoever this was family. And so they tell whoever they trust now, like, they really did self-sabotage her because they trusted someone, and that someone was not someone they could trust. How many times can we say that in a sentence? Okay. So they've experienced a lot of exhaustion when it comes to thinking about you, because I feel like they thought, like, they're not thinking that they'll ever get another shot with you. And maybe they won't. And maybe they won't. Maybe this person was like this to you, and that's why they won't, right? And so it's like now they're telling their family and friends, like, oh, you know, like, I manipulated pile number 2, and I was the one that was terrible to them, and I was the one that was unkind. So take it as it resonates, but I feel like they didn't realize that they were their own worst enemies here. They might have blamed you, they might have blamed other people, but eventually, like, all came back around and they realized, like, they were the only ones that could make anything happen. And that's really starting to weigh on them right now. And so it's creating a lot of tension. It's creating a lot of mental tension as well. So there's a lot of back and forth going on here. And they're watching you become successful. And they're watching you become abundant. And they feel very much like the outsider, like you've moved on from them. And they're painfully aware of that. And I feel like their family and friends, or whoever they trust now, I feel like whomever it is that they confide in, they're just like, well, like, you had an opportunity to do something. Like, okay, so I got this weird sensation, like I wanted to throw up. I don't know if that was you. I was like, felt like I was just about to like burp up a whole bunch of stomach acid, and I felt like I wanted to puke. And so there's like this energy where it's like, like, I don't even care about this person anymore. Like, I don't want anything to do with them. And so remember, we're not doing these readings so that you can go back to this person or feel sorry for them or anything. Like, literally, these readings are all about entertainment, but at the end of the day, it's also to help clarify your intuition. So, like, whatever it was that you're thinking about this person, and if it's not, and if you feel like I'm rejecting the reading, just remember, it just means it's not for you, and that's okay. You can pick one of the other 2 piles, or just pick an entirely different reading altogether. I feel like somebody here needs that reminder, you know? It's like, yes, while there's always guidance in these readings, that sometimes, because they are general, like, it's so many energies coming in at once. But I feel like the thing is here is that you've learned how to really love yourself. And so this person, that's what they tell whomever it is that they trust now. Like, you really have learned how to love yourself, and I'm not a part of that, and I never will be. And that's what it really feels like to them. Like, they're seeing things from their own hurt and their own pain in this. And I feel like at the same time, they're not actually honoring the hurt and the pain that you've gone through. And so they might not be telling their family and friends the whole truth. But I do feel like they're telling him, like, wow, look at how abundant you become, like, how far you've come. And so, like I was saying here, like, maybe this was someone who wanted this person all to themselves. Maybe they were in that energy where they just wanted you all to themselves as well. And they were just like, oh, I can't let pile number 2 get away. But I do feel like regardless of how they treated you, like, it was a stepping point for you where it's like, what do I want to do with my life? And you took that and you ran with it, and you become a lot more successful, and you become a lot more attractive. And you're very protective over yourself. And that's exactly what they tell their family and friends now. It's like, well, they're protected from me or from the situation altogether, and there's nothing that I can do. There's a lot of instability here. There was a lot of trauma that was at play. There was a lot that was going on, and it's like, whether or not they're acknowledging that, it's not the point. It's just that that's what they're telling their family and friends, like, I was the problem and I was the one that got in the way. But I do feel like at a time maybe they blamed you. And so there's this like wishy-washy feeling coming in. Let's get some clarifiers out here and see if we can kind of deepen this understanding. Can we please clarify the Emperor in the reverse? So we've got the Fool. Yeah. Let's get some more before we go into it. So I feel like I see where Source is taking this. But can we please clarify the King of Wands in the reverse? We've got the Knight of Coins slowing down. Can you please clarify the Ten of Swords in the reverse? A lot of emotional exhaustion is coming through here. Beyond illusion. Yeah. I feel like you were intuitively guided away from this person. Like, that's the thing. I feel like you had to leave this person behind. No matter if it was a bad disconnection or if it was just like, I gotta go. Right? You took a chance here. And this person... It's like they wish they could come with you, but there was no way they could take that leap. There was no way they were even ready to take that leap. And I feel like they may tell their family and friends that they feel left behind and that they're a lot slower than you. Like, there's no way they're ever going to get up to your level, and that you see things that they couldn't even hope to see. And I feel like their family and friends are like, well, you should have done something when they were here. It's like I feel like their family and friends definitely in this energy of like, you should have done something. Yeah, control with the King of Swords. Interesting. That's okay. So Source showing like this person could have been really controlling in your life. But we have the Queen of Cups underneath that with receptivity. Yeah, you have a lot of different energy here, right? You have the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords together coming out on the bottom, and then the Thunderbolt, which you might know as the Tower moment, or in the Tarot Marseilles, the House of God. It's like the differences between you two was enough to shake the ground. And that's why things couldn't possibly work out, because they were trying to control you and you were really receptive to change and growth and love. And it's like this rigid energy cannot work with water, right? Water flows in this rigidity. It's like stable and secure, but it's also very harsh and demanding. And that's what it feels like. And that's why something fell apart here. And so now they're seeing like they were their own worst enemy, or they're seeing that they sabotaged this connection because of this controlling energy, or because they were being brutal with you. And it's like, you can only be brutal to a flower for so long before it finally just gives up and it doesn't want to grow there anymore. And it tries to send a seed somewhere else to grow in a more fruitful place. It's like, that's really what this feels like. It's like, it feels like you had to move on. It really does feel like that, especially with the Queen of Wands here on the end. It feels like you had to make a choice to pick yourself, and you did, and you're choosing to love yourself, regardless of how another person feels about you. And I feel like that's what they tell their family and their friends, and their family and friends are like, it feels like you're never going to understand pile number 2 entirely. Like, you're seeing it from your hurt, but I do feel like they don't actually honor the role that they played when it came to you. So I do feel like they kind of get talked back from their family and friends. It's not that they're necessarily defending you, but it's like they absolutely understand why you left. And they're like, look, there's a lot going on here that you didn't actually see. But it's weird because I'm getting like this very dualistic energy, because there's some of them here that are just like, well, I didn't come forward and I let someone else make a choice for me. I let someone else determine for me. That could be the father wound. Okay, thank you, Source. That made a lot of sense. So maybe instead of you facing the father wound, this was them facing the father wound, and they had a very toxic father in their life. And that played a part in how they showed up when it came to you and your connection. And so that's something that I feel like their family and friends might be telling them as well. Like, you're a lot like your father. And I feel like this person hates hearing that. They cannot stand it. And they're just like, well, you know, if I'm like my father, then I understand why pile number 2 left. But I hate being compared to my father. Like, I can't stand that. And it's like, if everyone's telling me and being like him, then what truth is there in that? And then they feel like they're so stuck, and they feel like they can't move beyond this image, but you freely just took a chance on yourself and left them behind, and it scares them. It scares them that they might never connect with you again, but ultimately I feel like if this is the circumstance for you, pile number 2, I feel like it served its purpose. Like, I feel like you had to learn your worth, and this was just one of those really difficult situations that taught you your worth. It doesn't mean that you deserve to go through a bad situation. That's not what it means at all. It's just this situation happened, and from that, you learned your worth, right? And so it's like, of course, we always want a reason behind it, but sometimes this life, it doesn't give us any valid reason as to why things happen. And so instead of finding reason, it's like, celebrate what you did take from it and celebrate what you learned from it. And what I'm seeing here is that you learned how to love yourself and to see your worth from a situation that was difficult. Yeah, we have house 10, structure, discipline, life, mission, accomplishments, and career. So you're absolutely focused on growing yourself. And they see that. And I feel like they tell their family and friends that too. It's like, well, now they're just focused on growing themselves. And it's strange because I feel like there's someone in their life that's like, and shouldn't they want a better life for themselves? Like, there's someone here in this person's life that is very sarcastic. So this could be someone that knew you. This could be someone that knew you from their friends group. It was like, well, you had a good thing when you had them in your life, or you had a good thing when pile 2 was around. And you can't complain about them going and doing better for themselves. They deserve that. We have Gaia with nurturing coming out. Yeah, I feel like that's the thing. They see you nurturing yourself. And this person knows what it's like to be nurtured by you. And they never thought that that was going to go away. They like always thought that that was going to be a thing. And I feel like everybody around this person also saw you nurturing them. And I feel like there's family and friends that was kind of confused as to why you, pile 2, would nurture a person like this person. But, you know, you can't help some of the situations we find ourselves in, because the heart wants what the heart wants. But also the wounds and the trauma. We should say that the wounds and the traumas we've gone through also attract the wounds and the traumas that we need to heal. And so we can't help that sometimes, right? Sometimes it just happens to us and it's not entirely the best situation. So I feel like they've definitely been in this energy where it's like, wow, I'm so shocked that pile number 2 spent so much time and energy for this person, but they see you, and I feel like there's some of their family and friends that are cheering you on from the sidelines, like in the dark. They definitely don't want to come forward and say, hey, I'm cheering you on, because they also know that you have to keep distance from this energy. Stillness. Yeah, like, you found your answer. You found what serves you. I feel like if this person was really, really abusive to you, or really unkind to you, or this person was just, I do feel like in some cases this was just someone who just abandoned you, like emotionally. They just, one day they just weren't there anymore, and it was like, whoa, what happened? And that was just a product of what they went through. Not that it's an excuse. That was the product of what they went through playing out and the triggers that were being presented to them. Responsibility with Meerkat. Yeah. Like, you went from this place of seeing things in black and white, like I'm either 100% loyal or I'm not loyal at all, to seeing things as like, I have to figure out who my loyalties lie with, right? Like, I have to figure that out. I can't just blindly trust people. I can't just blindly give 100% to people. Like, I have to realize where it's best to put my energy at. And so that's what your responsibility has been this entire time, was to figure that out for yourself. Yeah, take the lead. I feel like they do see you as this leader. And the thing is that they're telling their family and friends, like, wow, they really are a leader. And I feel like their family and friends are like, you know, like, they were always a leader. That's not ever changed. It's just that, you know, the situation you put them through never gave them an opportunity to stand up. So, you know, you took a leap of faith on yourself. You tried to do something new. And I feel like this person at the end feels like a fool because of all this. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you made your bed, you lie in it. Transformation is beautiful. With number 11. Yeah, you grew spiritually. I'm not surprised that the Jupiter energy is here for you, because it feels like whatever this situation did for you in your life, it helped you to grow very, very spiritually in a very short time. Child eternal. Yeah, like we were talking about childhood wounds. Determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit. Ability to see things with fresh eyes. The shadow is the inability to grow up and be responsible. Extreme dependency on others for physical security. Didn't I say that for your pile? Like, there's a fear that there's like a codependency. That might not have been you guys. I feel like they depended on you for something, though. Something that was physically secure for them. That could have been this nurturing, that motherly energy. And so it's like you had to move from being the Queen of Cups energy to being the Queen of Wands. Like, you had to set some solid boundaries with them and say enough is enough. But we see here, it's like you're facing away from this. And I feel like the situation does arise here and there. Like, it might trigger you every once in a while. But I feel like the further it is that you get away from this situation, not from hearing about it, but it's like the more you realize how much you love yourself, the less this triggers you. And the better you feel. Shapeshifter. Skills at navigating through difficult levels of consciousness. Ability to see the potential in everything. The shadow is projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. They could have definitely done this to you. But it also prepped you for seeing things in different levels and different places at all different times. So it's like, maybe you still blame them, but I feel like many of you don't blame them because it's just not serving you to blame them. And so you've just moved on. You're like, it's over with, it's done. What's written is written. Malfunction. What does this person tell their family and friends about pile? Number 2, rejection. Yeah, you rejected them. No exit. I'm going to get one more for you here. Okay, or 2 more. So all of these flipped over. Let's start with malfunction. Hesitant to address the underlying issues, the cracks begin to widen. Fear leads to neglect, and neglect breeds chaos. Yeah, this person neglected you. Worry clouds your ability to act. Like, they never took the right action here. They couldn't see things clearly, and so they treated you horribly. And we have rejection. Blames themselves for rejection and feels unworthy of acceptance. Rejection offers a lesson in resilience. Feels trapped in a cycle of rejection and unable to break free. And then the next card to come out is no exit. Trapped in a situation with no exit or escape. Experiences a perpetual return to the same situations. Trapped in an infinite loop with no escape. Engages in a Siphonian task that never ends. And it's interesting because these are very telling cards. It's like, this might be what they're telling their family and friends. It's like, I feel like now I'm always getting rejected now that pile 2 is gone. And, you know, like, I want them to come back, but it's like nothing I do ever brings me to a place where I feel like I have an end with them. And I feel like their family and friends are like, you need to observe your own actions in this, because why should pile number 2 come back? Why should they come back into your life? Like, what's the purpose for them? You know, they gave so much to you and they got nothing out of it. We have zombies, danger approaching. A sense of foreboding fills the air and weighs on your mind. A lurking menace stalks you and keeps you alert. Yeah, so I feel like that's kind of the energy that you're at. It's like, nope, not today. We're not gonna play this game no more. Mm-mm-mm. You didn't say the magic word. Secret weapon. I'm battling my insecurities and re-examining our relationship. It is life-altering and also extremely empowering. At times I struggle, but I know that you are my secret weapon. So I feel like this is how you are. It's like they were your secret weapon to emboldening yourself and empowering yourself on the journey. On the bottom, we have help with seeking help. Says, I want to support you spiritually, not feel bounded by your struggles nor the opinions of others. I'm here to lift you up, even if you're unsure of what the future holds. And so this could be for those of you that were resonating with this person, was listening to someone else. And just remember, if this person was listening to someone else, the energies that are coming through are like that energy, that person that they were listening to. But I do feel like for a lot of you, this person also manipulated you or didn't treat you the way that you deserve to be treated. Let's get an angel number for this reading. Thank you. On the bottom, we have 233 with positivity. Positivity, joy, hope, compassion, optimism, mindset, and spread joy. This card brings a message of positivity and compassion. Reflect on how you can spread joy and hope in your life and in the lives of others. Consider your mindset and how to maintain optimism and hope. So I feel like for you, that's what it's been about, is finding hope in the journey again. And you're doing a good job of that. All right, let's see what else comes through here. Thank you. What do they tell their family and friends? Okay, snake. Yeah, okay, I can't make this stuff up. Shady, temptation, enemy, deception. I feel like they tried to paint it like you were the one that hurt them. For some, right? There's quite a few energies coming out. But I feel like their family realizes this is their fear talking, afraid, uneasy, suspicion, and scared. It was like easier to say that you were the one that hurt them rather than for them to observe their own actions, because they had to observe their own actions and they would have to face that. You know, like if they're being told they're like their father, or if they're being told they're like someone who is very manipulative in their life, like they don't like that, but they also don't want to face that part of themselves. This is someone who's not ready to heal. Okay, reconciliation, reunion, second chance, back together, I miss you. I feel like they do miss you a lot because they miss what you gave them. I don't feel like it's genuine, though. Like, even for the person who listened to someone else, I still don't feel like it's genuine because I don't feel like this person was in a place to really receive you. Transform with Pluto. Yeah, you're the one that's transformed. You changed a lot. Look, in Cancer energy, because you're a nurturing, comforting, and protective person, like you are protecting yourself now. You gave a lot of that away to them, and now you're taking it back for yourself, and you're learning how to redistribute that to yourself. And the more you do that, the more that ties with them get cut and destroyed and shredded, and they feel that absence. Authenticity with Wolf, yeah. You're a different person. And I feel like they do tell their family and friends that, like, I don't recognize pile number 2 anymore. And I feel like whoever like I said, there's someone in here who's really sarcastic, who saw this play out, or who saw the situation and was like, I'm glad they're not the same person. Because the person that they were when you were together, or when you knew this person, like, they gave you everything and you gave them nothing. Like, I really feel like there's someone here who's not very kind to them. It's just like, fine, if you want to talk about pile 2, but just know I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. And so I feel like whoever this is, like, just, it's a really grounded friend who notices this person's patterns. And so I feel like they're doing it from a place of, like, trying to get this person to heal, but this person's a little dense. Yeah, 1313, seek comfort, protection. Wow, we got a lot of protection coming out here. I definitely felt like you were protecting yourself with this Queen of Wands, but protection coming through here. It says assurance, support, safety, angels, reassurance. This number, 1313, brings special protection from your angels. They want you to know that you can seek comfort and safety under their watchful care as they work extra hard to shield you from any negativity. In what areas of my life do I need extra comfort and protection, and how can I seek it with the reassurance of my angels? Take a moment to create a comforting space for yourself, whether through relaxation techniques, meditation, or connecting with a trusted friend. Remember that you are under the care of your angels. Yeah, so I feel like they go to this person to seek comfort. But I also feel like this is showing like you seek comfort in other ways, in a very spiritual way, in a very guided way. And so you know that you're protected. And I feel like you know that you were protected from this connection. And that brings you peace. But I feel like this person goes to seek comfort, and instead they definitely get a lot thrown back in their face. Yeah, unfinished business. It's not over. Back and forth baggage. Roll the dice. Take a chance. Risk. A leap of faith and strategy. So you've definitely taken a chance on yourself. You rolled the dice and you bet on you. And that was the best thing that you could have done, pile number 2. Look, protection. Oh my gosh. Protection. And I said that at the beginning, I'm pretty sure, with the Queen of Wands, protection. Wow. So I feel like regardless of what this person is saying to their family and friends, like Source is definitely coming in with a side message of how protected you are from this person, from this situation. So I feel like that's why it's been more about where this person's at than it is about what it is they're saying about you, because Source just wants you to know, like, we're keeping you protected from the things that aren't serving you. And so it's not about even what this person has to say about you. It's about how far you've come. It says you are divinely protected. This very door knocker at the center of this card is here to protect you, to cast away the darkness and bring good fortune and health to you, your home, and your family, right? That Jupiter energy. Spend some time with this card to feel its power. Imagine the force field that radiates outward and expands as you strengthen your intent. You are shielded in this dome, and all the negative energy, curses and bad wishes bounce off of it. If a negative vibe approaches, your energy shines bright and powerful and quickly repels it. Embrace and comfort your inner child that was left longing. You are safe in this time and space. And the affirmation is, I am sheltered. Yeah, so I feel like Source is really just reaching out to you, pile number 2, and reminding you, you are so protected. You were held and supported. Like, we helped you get away from this situation. And yes, we're tapping into that energy. But the main thing here is this person's getting a lot of what they gave back, like gave to you. It's like that energy just keeps coming back. That's if this energy here, the no exit. Right? They're stuck on this merry-go-round and they can't get off because it's that energy keeps coming back to them. And the only way for them to get off is when they actually acknowledge what it is that they did or how they treated you. And that's up to them ultimately, whether or not they get off the circus ride. And what Source is saying here is like, don't worry, because we brought you into this place. You're an incredibly protected individual, and you don't have to worry about people who feel like they have unfinished business with you, because we helped you find closure. Okay? So this is what I see here for you. If you feel like this is your reading, I think there's a little devil mask. Not the devil, the purple one, but there's like a little red devil mask. Because it kind of makes me think of this. So leave that little red devil mask emoji down below and say, I am protected by the divine. And because of that, I am free to continue to express love and compassion towards myself, filling up my own cup, while that fills out into the world and I share my glow with everyone. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need down below in the description box, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member of the channel. With that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of rose quartz, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, and this is going to be a reading on what do they tell their family and friends about you, I do want to say first, thank you so much for those of you that are continuing to be a part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for anybody that is new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. With that, before I roll the dice, I did have a channeled message for you. This pile is actually talking about a family member that's talking to other family members and friends about you. This does not have to be a reading about someone who's a romantic interest. None of the readings that I do are just solely for romantic interest unless otherwise stated so. But when I was getting ready to do your reading pile 3, I kept getting this as a family member, someone who's really close to you. They're clinging on to the past. They can't let go. They're really tripping out about where you're at right now. And that's what I feel like they're telling a lot of family and friends, or they're trying to paint a not so good picture of you. This has already been a pretty rough reading, and I wasn't expecting pile 3 to go this way. But again, I'm not in control of that. I am here to give the messages that Source brings through. So we're going to go ahead and get to it and find out what is coming out. And hopefully this will help kind of clarify things for you and clarify your intuition as well. Remember, I'm not here to totally divert your journey. It's all about helping you clarify your intuitive notions and what you're getting on downloads, okay? So Source, what are they telling their family and friends about pile number 3? What are they telling their family and friends about pile number 3? What would you like to share with us today? And this could be someone that's maybe not blood related, but that you have seen as family in the past, okay? So we've got the 9th house, Gemini energy in the North Node. Okay, so what are they telling their family and friends about you? You are someone who has grown a lot, and that has been an underlying message for this entire reading. It's not surprising, since in the shuffle we did get divine guidance on the bottom of the deck. I don't know if you watched the intro or not, but I did have a little collective reading there. With this combination of the dice, let me see if I can get that to, there we go, focus a little better. We see that they're talking about how much you've learned and how much you are not afraid to share what you've learned. And that is something they do feel like you're doing good, that's a part of your journey, right? You've come a long way, and you're not afraid to share your thoughts. You're not afraid to share your opinions anymore. You're also not taking things personally like maybe you once did. So I feel like they are clinging to the past and seeing you as someone who's going to eventually stop doing these things that you're doing currently. Like somewhere along the way, it's just going to all be a facade, but it's not. You keep growing. You keep expanding. You keep learning new things, right? You keep seeing things from a very stable mindset, and your communication skills have nothing but developed, right? It's like constantly getting easier to talk to people, constantly getting easier to vocalize what it is that you need, whether that's your needs and wants and desires, or what it is that you need to express out into this physical realm. And so I feel like that's absolutely something coming high. It does feel like you talk a lot about philosophical ideals and things that, you know, maybe a lot of people don't share, or a lot of people don't talk about in general. So it's like, if people are talking about politics, you might be the one that brings a lot of philosophical beliefs into politics, and they're like, we're talking politics, and you're like, yeah, but a lot of these things still matter in politics, you know. Or you're talking about like law, and you're still bringing philosophical things into the law, and they're like, this is about legal stuff, and you're like, yeah, but a lot of this still pertains to that. Or maybe in divination, maybe you've done divination, or you're working as a diviner, and you know, you're bringing a lot of philosophical ideas into that as well. or even at school or in the arts. It's like you're just sharing a ton of wisdom with people. And I feel like whoever this is, it's just they're flabbergasted, because it's like, you were never like that, or you were never like that out in public. Like, you might have been like that at home, but you were never like that with strangers, and now you're being like that with strangers. Or they're seeing you talk to them about certain things and then turning around and sharing that exact same thing with another person who you don't know, and seeing how you're adapting to that and how your intelligence is shining through. But there's also a sense of duality that's coming through here. And I do feel like they think that you're coming from a superficial place, or that you're just trying to cause problems while taking a step back. It's almost like that manipulator sense. Like, well, I'm just trying to cause mayhem, and then I'm just going to step back and be like, well, I came from this philosophical viewpoint just because you didn't know. And so there's this weird energy behind it where it's like they're not, like, they don't see the genuine energy behind it that you're bringing, but they do feel like you're doing what you were always meant to do. Like, it's kind of a weird, like I said, it was already weird when I started. It was already a strange energy coming in, but showing that it's family here. Let's see what comes through. Yeah, they feel like you're manifesting things in your life, and I feel like they're sharing that with people, but I feel like they're gossiping about you. So I feel like they're sitting there, and when they're with you, they're acting like they're impressed, or they might not say anything at all, but when they go and talk to their family and friends, they're like, oh yeah, they're just doing it so they can cause trouble, or they're just doing it to stir the pot, and then run away and watch everybody like beat themselves up. And I feel like when you share your ideals with people, like, most people are just stuck. Not stuck. They stop whatever it is that they're doing, because they're like, whoa. Wow, you brought up a really valid point. And I feel like even for them, like, you brought up a lot of valid points, but they just don't see the world the way that you do, and they're very stubborn. Already. Yeah, they're very superficial. Very superficial. This person is incredibly superficial, and so they don't believe that there's anything deeper to you than what is to them. And so they do gossip about you behind your back, telling family and friends the non-truth, right? So they're saying, oh yeah, they share these great ideas, but they're just trying to cause drama. Okay. So what are they saying to the family and friends about pile number 3? Thank you. Yeah, it's just already like, I never know with these readings. What are they telling their family and friends about pile number 3, source? Whoa, okay. Yeah, so we've got the Ace of Coins in the reverse, or no, in the upright. Okay, we got the Ace of Coins in the upright, and we've got the Six of Wands in the reverse. This is interesting. Before we even look at the bottom of the deck, I don't know what's on it, by the way. Just gonna move that over there. So the thing is that there's this energy here where it's like they're seeing how abundant you are. They're seeing you draw in finances. They're seeing you draw in a new sense of stability with yourself, and taking opportunities as they come. Like, every option or everything that you do or experience in the day is a new opportunity for you to just be who you are. And I feel like this person is telling their family and friends, like, you're just greedy, like, you're taking up all the attention, you want to be in the spotlight, or you're not sharing your wealth with them. Oh, I don't know. What's on the bottom of the deck? Let's see what's coming out. The bottom of the deck. The 9 of Coins. This is interesting. It's in the reverse, by the way. Yeah, this is interesting. Right? Because it's like, they feel like you're celebrating, and this is what they're telling people. They feel like you're celebrating because, you know, you're delusional about what it is that you're doing. This is not a good energy. Who do you guys have around you right now? This is definitely not someone who's for you. I will say that. Yeah, okay. You've been really honest with this person. I feel like you've cut them off. I feel like you have set some really solid boundaries with this person. You said enough is enough, or this person tries to waste your time, and you've recognized that. And the thing is they're telling the family and friends that, like, you won't talk to them, that you don't give them anything, like you're making all this money hand over foot and they've been helping you and you're not helping them. Oh my goodness, this is next level. And that you don't want to love anybody, you just want to love yourself, and that they're feeling stuck because of you. What is going on here? All right, hold on. I wasn't going to get this clarifiers this early, but I feel like I need to, because this is not someone who has your best interest at heart. Like, you're healing here. We've got the King of Cups. Can we please clarify the Ace of Coins here? Yeah, celebration. Okay. You are making something of yourself here. A lot of cups energy, a lot of emotions. This is interesting, though. Awareness with the Chariot. I think you're aware of this person's energy. I feel like you're like, I'm not telling you anything new. Like, oh, here we go. Like, I already knew they were doing this stuff. I knew that they were passing on stories about me when I'm not around. And it's like, honestly, pile 3, there's like nothing you can do about this person's actions. Like, they're going to do whatever they're going to do. And it doesn't matter. Like, even if you made $1 million tomorrow and you gave them $500,000 of that, like, this is just a theoretical experience. Okay. Just, this is what I'm saying. Like, the thing is that they would still be doing this because it wouldn't be good enough, because they don't think anything is good enough, because they like to play. Like, this is someone who either likes to paint themselves as the hero so that they are empathize with other people, or other people support them and praise them. This person's a manipulator, okay? But they do tell people that you're healing, but they do tell people that you are only healing and keeping things from them the more that you heal. And that you're happy about something, but they feel like it's because you're happy about making more money, but you know you have to keep this to yourself. This is a very interesting reading. Courage with the Strength card on the bottom. This is not a prosperous place for you to be at. I feel like this is someone who's in your energy. This is someone you have had to deal with constantly for a long time. And I feel like you had to grow in spite of the harsh conditions, and you had to develop in spite of their criticisms and their trying to make you feel guilty about you being you, or you trying to build yourself up and to become successful again. Yeah, you're always fighting. This is the Knight of Swords again on the bottom of this deck, but you're always fighting for yourself. Like, they're over here creating a lot of drama in your life, and they don't see it as them being the problem. Yeah, and so then we have the King of Wands here, and with the Creator. So you took it upon yourself to take action for yourself and create what you needed to in your life, and you're rebelling against them. That's what they're telling people, though. They're telling people that you're hiding money from them. I feel like that's the only thing they care about is material wealth. We see here you've healed emotionally, and your emotional healing is what's bringing in wealth to you. But I feel like this person overall, especially with the Six of Wands here, the energy here is very... like, I don't even know if I can describe how heavy this is. It's just like you could cut it with a knife. I feel like if you have to spend time with this person, you rarely talk to each other. Like, it's almost like someone could walk up and be like, oh, you can cut the tension with a knife. Like, I feel like people maybe have said that to you before, too. Like, wow, you can cut the tension between you and this person with a knife. And you're like, yeah, I know. And they're like, aren't you worried about it? You're like, no, it's always been like that. Like, that's nothing new. It's okay. It's been like that for a long time. And people are like, and that doesn't bother you? And it's like, why should it bother me? Like, it used to. I feel like it used to, but you could be healing from wounds that this person caused in your childhood, and that's giving you something to celebrate. This reading, none of these readings went the way I expected them to, but they never do. They never do. They always go however Source wants them to go, so we're just going to go down the road that Source is creating for us. I feel like this person had you trapped for a really long time. And they use that to their advantage. Like, they maybe said, oh, we're best friends, or we'll always be good buddies, or whatever like this. And it's like, that's starting to burn away now, and you're starting to see exactly the truth about this person. Like, you're seeing the lies, you're seeing the deception. right? And I feel like it's been hurtful for you, pile 3, because I feel like you really do care about this person, or you have cared deeply about this person in the past. And it's like, you know, I would have put my hands in the fire for you, but at the end of the day, it's like you treat me like I'm a nobody, and you treat me like I don't matter, and you treat me like I'm nothing. Like, why should I continue to stay in this place of honoring or putting you up on a pedestal that you don't even belong on in the first place? And so you're in this energy of just like being exhausted from this person, which you should. You know, this is exhausting energy. And we're seeing here that they're painting a ton of illusions about you with the 9 of coins in the reverse here. It's like they also feel like it's unfair. Like I feel like you're earning money in a different way than they do. So they might work a 9 to 5 and you might be building your own business. And because of that, like they feel like it's unfair. Like, oh, why does pile 3 get to the opportunity to do this? Like, why do they get the opportunity to grow? And it's like you just took a chance on yourself, right? And so you carved out a niche for yourself. And what was that just went across my screen? I don't know if that was caught in the camera, but I just saw this shadow go like that. Whoa, that tripped me out. Did you see that? Let me know if you saw that. That was trippy. I feel like that's this person's energy, though. It's like really the shadowy type of energy that's around you all the time because this person's just in a low vibration. Please don't freak out. All right, like I do a lot of protection before I even come onto these readings. That's why I say the prayer at the beginning. Like there's a lot that I go into to ensure that we're connecting with high vibrations, but also Source makes it known to me a lot of this energy that's going on. That's just the way it works. Like it's sometimes Source is showing me like it's a shadow, like right, this shadow that just went across right here in the screen. It just went right there. And it was so vivid to me. And that's what it feels like. This person is living in the shadow of illusion. And in that shadow, they're in this place of like trying to make everyone see them as though they're not, right? They're wearing a mask. And you've gone through this process of carving out something for yourself because you're very ambitious and independent and forward thinking, and you have this good start and you're building financial stability, and this person sees that, but they don't know how to tap into gaining access to that, because I feel like this person wants to gain something from you. Like they want your money, or they want your abundance, or they want your physical security, but they also know like you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing because of the North Node showing up. And I feel like that's also a message from Source saying like, don't trip, chocolate chip, because you're on the right path. You're doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. So stop questioning yourself, because it feels like you might question yourself a little bit all the time. Right? It's because this person only thinks about money. They have this excessive pursuit of luxury. And I feel like Source is trying to help you break up the already unstable alliance that you might have had with this person. I don't feel like you see it that way, but I do feel like you understand, like, this is someone who's got to go. This person just will talk to anybody and tell anybody everything and anything just so that people will see them as... I keep getting like this hero complex. Like they just want to feel like they're the savior. Like, oh, I can only paint myself in a good light if people see me as I came in to save pile number 3. This could be an ex, okay? This could be an ex coming in too, but it feels like family. It feels like this is someone who you see as family, or someone who is family in your life. The Source is saying, like, don't worry about this person right now because you're still growing in spite of the challenges. Right? And you're going to be moving away from this eventually. This is something that you're going to be leaving behind. And I feel like when you leave this behind, like everything that this person has said about you to family, to friends, like they're all going to be like, but I thought you said that pile number 3 was struggling and that they were never going to succeed at whatever it is that they were doing, that they were only taking advantage of you. And that's like basically their karma coming back around, if you want to look at it that way. That's just the intention that they put out coming back to them. And that's really difficult for them, like, but they don't see it that way because they really don't believe that you're going to succeed. because they've never seen you succeed, even though they feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. This is a weird paradigm. This is a weird conundrum, if you will. Like, they see you as spiritual, they think that you should be spiritual, but they don't think that you should make money at spirituality. Okay. So what am I supposed to do? Go to a 9-to-5 like you? I feel like they're just so busy comparing themselves to others. It's like, as long as what I've gone through is worse than everyone else, then I've gained something. Like, this is a person who you have a story to share, and it might be a story about your past. Okay, that's interesting. It might be a story about your past, and you're like, this was really difficult for me to experience. So, like, say you were abused when you were a child by someone, and you're like, I was abused by somebody as a child. It was really difficult. And then all of a sudden, they bring up a story that just happened, that someone else was talking about how abused they were, and how, like, oh, well, my friend said that they were abused too, and that was really hard for me to hear because of this. And you're like, that has nothing to do with what I'm telling you at all. And they're like, no, but you don't understand. It was way worse than what you experienced. And you're like, okay. That's what it feels like. It feels like this person really, like, invalidates your experiences. Okay, on the bottom of the deck, we've got Jupiter, grow and expand. Look at what's peeking out. I know this is trying already. Angelic support, harmony, and perfect flow. So your angels and source are here helping you to grow and expand beyond this situation. Like, they already know you're not meant to be here for forever. This is basically like a stepping stone along your journey. This was to help you heal some really, really deep wounds that maybe you didn't even recognize or know were there, right? And it had to be triggered by this person. This person feels like a catalyst in your journey. But we've got the 10th house coming out with structure, discipline, life, mission, accomplishments, and career. With the with the North Node energy, we see here, like, you're doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. You're walking your path of purpose, and you're being divinely guided here. And it's all because you've done the work. You've done the healing. You saved yourself. You chose yourself. You chose to do what served you best, instead of going towards what everyone says that you should go through or go to, or the work that everyone else said that you should do, right? Some of us just don't survive in 9-to-5s. Like, we just can't do it. No matter how hard we try, we just can't do it. And I feel like that's all this person knows, is this is how you make money. If you want to make extra money, you have to work overtime. And you're like, that's not the type of life that I'm going for. I want to own my own business, or I want to do my own thing so that I have freedom. And they just don't see it that way. They just think that, like, I keep coming back to that, taking advantage of. And it's like, how are you taking advantage of? If you're trying your best to build something, that's never taking advantage of someone. Wake up call, tsunami. So this is an interesting energy to come out on your reading pile 3, because I feel like this is a wake-up call for you, but I also feel like you're a wake-up call for them. So it's like, for as much as they're trying to deny you, you're going to succeed. It's almost like they really believe, if I can make you feel small or make you feel bad about what you're doing, then you're going to stop. But ultimately, it's just pushing you harder and further, because you're like, no, I'm going to do it. And I know I'm going to do it. I swear, with the shadow. I saw it again. Yeah, this person's really mad that I'm talking about this. They like to be seen as someone that's good and has their stuff together, but I feel like ultimately they fall apart, and they are falling apart. So what source is showing me with the shadow is, like, it's hard sometimes for you to do what you need to do. Like, there are days when you struggle to do what you're doing, or there are days when you struggle to get up and focus, because this person has such a shadowy energy. But to remember that you were the light, okay? To remember that you were the light, and you were so much stronger than that. And that source will always be there to give you a helping hand, okay? Look, stability on the bottom. Look, childhood wounds, number 8. We have this karmic cycle coming out here. This is you getting back to the basics and really purifying your energy and letting go and finding a sense of stability no matter where you are. You are your home. And I feel like that's what Source is saying here. Like, it doesn't even matter what this person is telling family and friends, because what matters is that you find this stability within yourself and know that no matter where you are home. I feel like that's something that's very important for you. And one day you'll have a home to yourself, and one day you'll be stable on your own. Look, loyal to what you love with dog spirit here. Yeah, you always went towards what felt good for you. And maybe that's another reason why this person says the things that they say, because they never chase their own dreams. And the more that you chase your dreams, the more it irritates their inner demons and the less kind things they have to say, because it's like they're just really, this is someone who's really projecting their own internal pains out onto the world. See, we have brown bear spirit, take time out. I feel like this is source saying you're healing your heart, but also don't be afraid to take space when you need to take space. You're going to have to recover from this person's energy. I feel like you're not here in this situation by choice. It's out of necessity. But I do feel like you're going to have a choice soon to leave this behind or to let go of this. And that's going to make you feel a lot better. Fool energy coming out here. Fearlessly revealing emotions. And that makes so much sense with all this water energy we got for the clarifiers. Helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. And the shadow is using humor to wound rather than liberate. Denial of your emotional truth. So again, this person's wearing a mask to hide how they feel. And they're using that projection. So they might act like they're joking about it. They might say, oh, you know, I wasn't being serious about that, but they're not seeing how much it's affecting you. Or the other side, they do see how much that affects you and they continue to do it knowingly because they want to have a sense of control over the situation. So I do feel like they might tell people, oh, haha, you know, it's like, oh, well, pile 3 is being as stubborn as ever. And they're not realizing like they're actually hurting you. Or, oh, pile 3 is being a bum like always, you know, and it's like, oh, it's just a joke. It's just a joke, but it's not. It's them being honest, but they're trying to use a joke to cover up talking in front of your face about it. And I feel like that's nothing new to you, pile 3. Like you've probably already acknowledged this long ago. So we have child nature on the bottom. Friendships with animals and communication with nature spirits. The shadow is a tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. You've been through enough. You've been through enough, and I feel like you are surrounded by loving spirits. You might be in a very natural setting, like your home might be in a very natural setting. You might have a lot of animals around you as well, or just have friends who have a lot of animals that you're just like, they're always like, man, they love you, pile 3. Like, all our animals love you. Like, what's the deal here? But it's just because of that kindness and nurturing coming through. It's like source giving you a sign, like, this is the type of energy you're meant to be surrounded by, even if it's not right now. All right. Okay, thank you. What else would you like pile 3 to know, source? Twin flame. Interesting. Don't look into it just yet. Digital detox. Okay. What else? All right. On the bottom, we have guidance from above. Yeah. I let fictional tales blind my reality, allowing them to dictate my emotions. I now realize the stories I consume were meant to guide, not to control. What was I saying? This person wants a sense of control. With divine guidance coming out, it's confirming that energy that I was feeling. Okay, so we've got twin flame that flew out here, number 32 or 23, which is 5, and 5 is all about change. It says souls maturing separately to bring deeper wisdom upon reunion, growing in parallel dimensions, destined to intersect again, evolving separately and becoming whole individually. So this could be, for some of you, a part of a twin flame journey if you resonate with that. I don't feel like this is your twin that's coming through at all. Okay, like that's not the energy, but I feel like this is source saying like this is a part of your spiritual growth, a part of you standing in the North Node energy so that you can grow separately from this person and really come back to this place of self-reliance and independence on your own. We have new beginnings here with, even with this distance, I know we're never truly apart. Our new beginning is always within reach. So this is helping you find a reset. So we have malfunction. A relationship, much like a machine, has developed cracks that need attention. Ignoring these issues won't make them disappear. Instead, it pushes us further apart. We've been stuck in a cycle of avoidance, resisting the necessary changes. That's why I was saying, like, I feel like when you're with this person, or if this person is in your energy, like, there's no communication here. There's this constant ignorance of one another, or it's like, and I feel like a lot of people have mentioned it too, like, are you okay with that? And it's just kind of like become the norm for you. And we have digital detox, lost in the virtual world, neglects real life relationships, realizes the need for a digital detox and seeks clarity, feels overwhelmed by digital content and needs a break. So this person could always be on their phone. They could always have their nose in the phone. They could always be online. They could be talking to people online about you, which is that energy coming through as well. So take it as it resonates. Let's get some other cards out here for you, pile 3. All right, let's get an angel number, see what comes through for you. Whoa, as it dances out here. On the bottom, we've got 6464, intuition, inner knowing, trust. And wasn't I saying that, like, they didn't trust themselves in the beginning? I feel like I said that. That might not have been your pile. It might have been a different one. We have awareness, mindfulness, reflection, and clarity. It says cultivate mindfulness daily to strengthen your intuition. Spend time in quiet reflection, focusing on your breath, and let your mind settle into stillness. What is my intuition telling me about the current situation? How can I better listen to my inner voice? It says dedicate a few minutes each day to mindfulness or meditation. Allow your inner voice to guide you without distraction. Trust the feelings and insights that arise. And 64 is 1010, and 1010 is talking about your path of purpose. So I feel like for those of you like, why do I have to go through this? It's just a part of your path. Like, there's something more to this than what is currently happening right now. And to trust that process, even though it is difficult, right? But oftentimes the things that are worth having in life don't come easy. You have to go through a lot just to get to those moments where we're ready to receive that which is meant for us. We had breakup, flying out, walking away, ending, separation, it's over. Yeah, so I feel like this is confirmation, the source saying, like, this is something that's done, right? Like, it's not something that you're going to continue to invite into your life anymore. Once you leave this situation, like, it's over. And you're going to be able to discern people who are in this type of energy. Well, like I said at the beginning of this reading, it does feel like this is someone who, you know, they've just had an end to your life for a long time. What else, source, would you like to say? One more card here. Okay, thank you. All right, on the bottom, we have magnetic attraction, alluring, lust, irresistible, and flirting. So this is that confirmation for some of you. This could be an ex that you were very attracted to, an ex that was just very alluring. But I also feel like that's the other thing with this, is this person is jealous of, because, like, you're attracting a lot of good things into your life, and so it's just creating a lot of disturbances for them. Like I said, it's just irritating their demons in the wrong way. House 3, like I said, this is someone you've known for a long time. Early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. Back to that Gemini energy, they do feel like you're a great communicator. Look, rain, purification came out. I was talking about that you are purifying your soul. I feel like that's confirmation from source saying you're purifying this from your energetic field. Observation with the peregrine falcon. This is connected with the Eye of Horus. This talks about us trusting our intuition, right? You've got great skills of observation. Like, I feel like nothing I'm saying is new to anyone. It's like, for those of you that this pile is resonating with, it's like, yeah, you've been feeling this for a long time, and you've been aware of what's been going on behind closed doors. We have celebration, harmony, peace, joy, togetherness, celebration. Celebrate love with simple acts of kindness and give with an open heart. Expect nothing in return. You're coming into a period of celebration. Like, source is taking you away from this altogether. Bringing you abundance with number 8. Helping you to clear out those karmic ties, right? prosperity, opportunity, financial stability, emotional well-being, transformation. If you're struggling financially or emotionally due to changes in your life or relationships, your angels want you to know that these difficulties are temporary and also an opportunity for growth. How can I embrace the changes in my life as opportunities to cultivate greater abundance? Today, focus on one positive step you can take to improve your financial or emotional well-being, trusting that abundance is on its way to you. So, and again, this person, that's all they see is that you're getting abundance and they're not. And so that's creating a lot of insecurities within them as well. Third party, interference, cheating, competition, mistrust. Okay, so this could be a third party. Doesn't have to be. But I do feel like this is that interference energy that we felt this entire time. Unexpected, surprise, unpredictable, shocking, and unusual. So I feel like you're going to, when you choose to say enough is enough, like not just saying it, but like really believe it in your soul. Like, I'm really done with this. I'm really over this. Like when it comes to a heart knowing, right, from our heart, we just know, like, I'm really done with this and I can't give any more to this and I'm ready to just cut ties with this. You're going to get like an unexpected surprise. There's going to be something that comes through that you're going to be celebrating, and they want you to keep it hush hush. Like there's no need to be blasting this out to everybody, because again, this person does not have your best interest at heart. But I do feel like they've been telling everybody these really weird things about you, and I think that there's a point where like people might believe them for now, but like I said, your success is going to put this person in a really awkward position. Okay, so let's take a look at your card here. Look, cast away negativity. Oh my gosh, this card, that's exactly what this feels like. This person's a very negative influence in your inner. That's why I kept seeing the shadow too. So it's like, see, it's like taking the dagger and cutting them out of your life and no longer letting the snake in, right? All right, let's see what this one says. Cast away negativity. Choose carefully your friends and the people you surround yourself with. At times, you may need to temporarily distance yourself from the people who cannot see your vision or are not in place to understand your opinions and feelings. Allow them time to grow and try to see why they feel vulnerable. The rose in the snake's mouth represents kindness. Soften the negative words and thoughts by adopting a positive attitude. Consider whether it's more important to be right or to build a happy and peaceful presence. With a bit of kindness, you might be able to turn the currents in your favor. Playing games is not the path you want to take right now. The sword in this card is a symbol of protective power, but also of honor and justice. It says, I set my boundaries with kindness. Yeah, and I feel like that's a thing. Like right now, it's just setting these powerful boundaries. It's just saying like, look, I got things I got to take care of, and I cannot be in this place of giving you my space, giving you my time just because you are insecure with where you're at. I mean, you don't have to say it this way, but understanding that, right? Like knowing like I have things I got to go do today and you have things that you need to work on. So I'm going to go take care of what I need to, right? But not like biting back, because you're already growing and you're already becoming a leader in your own right. And people are looking at you from outside of this situation and looking up to you, pile 3. And so whether you know that or not, it's just something that Source wants to say. It's like, so how you show up in every situation right now really matters for your growth. There's no reason to take it out on this person, even though they're not kind, even though they're gossiping, even though they're saying these things. Like, and I know so many people are like, no, you need to bite back. We're not doing an eye for an eye. That's not what our spiritual journey is about. And so there's something here about really just relinquishing control and focusing on yourself. Really focusing on yourself and taking a step in the direction that best serves you. Trusting your intuition. You're a very intuitive person. Trust that it's leading you to the right path, okay? Trust that Source is leading you to the right path. Trust that your angels and guides are helping you and leading you to the right path, okay? So this is what I see here for you. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little snake emoji down below and say, no matter how chaotic a person shows up in my life, I choose to show up with grace, compassion, and self-preserving actions, so that I'm always seen as the true leader that I am. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading, and there's also a link down there so that you can join as a member of the channel. And with that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message, completely unexpected. I love you, Pile 3. I'm honored to be able to do this for you, and I'm so honored I got to connect with your energy today. And with that being said, until next time, stay human. Bye.